all alone for 40 days. No followers, no food, no comfort. Just silence and prayer, with an adversary waiting. When the devil came to Jesus, he said, "If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." The first temptation strikes at the most basic human level, physical need. After 40 days without food, Satan approaches Jesus with a simple but powerful proposition. "I know you are hungry. Just feed yourself." In other words, why struggle? You have the power to satisfy your hunger. It's a direct appeal to the flesh, to immediate gratification. But Jesus' response reveals a deeper truth. That strength lies not in indulgence, but in restraint. The path of true purpose demands we resist the urge to satisfy temporary desires at the cost of long-term conviction. In a world that constantly tempts us to choose comfort over calling, Jesus models the discipline to stay rooted in something higher. Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Then the devil took him up into the holy city, set him on the pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down." In the second temptation, Satan shifts his strategy. This time, he urges Jesus to throw himself from the top of the temple, quoting scripture to justify the act. It's a subtle but dangerous challenge, not just to Jesus' identity, but to his relationship with God. At its core, this is the temptation of pride disguised as faith. A test not born from trust, but from arrogance. If you truly believe, prove it. Force God to act. But authentic faith doesn't demand proof. It rests in quiet confidence, knowing God is who He says He is: good, faithful, and present. We are not called to manipulate God or set conditions for His love. Obedience is not about control, it's about surrender. Satan will often use half-truths, even Scripture itself, to try to manipulate you. He twists faith into performance and trust into entitlement. But Jesus resists. He reminds us that genuine strength comes from humility and that true faith never puts God on trial. Jesus answered him, "It is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test." Finally, the devil took him up on an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, "All these things I will give you, if you will fall down and worship me." In the last temptation, Satan offers Jesus the world, all the kingdoms, all the power, all the glory. It can be yours if you bow down and worship me. It is the ultimate offer: total control, immediate success, unchallenged influence. But beneath the surface lies a dangerous trade: the exchange of divine allegiance for temporary gain. This is the temptation of idolatry, the call to forsake eternal purpose for fleeting power. And it is as relevant now as it was then. In a culture that glorifies status, wealth, and influence, we are constantly urged to chase what looks like success, even if it costs us our soul. But Jesus refuses. In that moment, he rejects the lie that worldly greatness is worth compromising spiritual integrity. Because in the end, kingdoms fall, glory fades, and power passes. But loyalty to God, that is eternal. The choice remains the same for us. Will we chase what shines for a moment, or live for what lasts forever? Then Jesus said to him, "Away with you, Satan. For it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only you shall serve." Every day, we face the same subtle whispers that echoed through the wilderness. Temptations to satisfy the flesh, to be a victim of our pride, or to chase the fleeting promises of this world. Satan and his forces still move, not always in grand displays, but in quiet compromises. But like Jesus, we are not powerless. We are called to stand firm, to know the word, to recognize deception and reject it, not with emotion, but with conviction, not by willpower alone, but through unwavering faith. Temptation is inevitable, But surrender is a choice. And when we choose obedience over indulgence, humility over pride, and eternal purpose over temporary gain, we don't just resist the enemy, we walk in the footsteps of Christ, and in that, we are never alone. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I enjoyed studying this passage and diving deeper into the different meanings behind Satan's temptations. If you made it this far, consider leaving a comment telling me your thoughts and subscribing.